Hi everyone, Peter Lisiage here, and this is, I guess, episode 5 of my Mastery Daily Dose. And I wanted to do this every day. Started this week. This is basically my practice week. I started doing it on Monday just to see if I could get the flow and get used to coming on and scheduling my time every day, 4 o'clock. And I put a bit of a little survey out there and asked a couple people that have been following me, asked, what time's a good time for me to go live for them. And I was willing to do 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night. And most people were talking about 4 o'clock. So I'll do that for now, 4 o'clock. And this might change depending on when you guys would prefer to get it. And I guess this is what I'm doing. So this week was my practice week just to go live, get used to doing this. Next week officially starts. Okay, so this is an unofficial Life Mastery Daily Dose, episode 5, unofficial. But anyway, it goes next week. So anyway, what I want to do is come on here and just share some things that have been on my mind, my heart, things that I'm maybe teaching to my students, my Life Mastery students, my coaching, or things that come up in my mastermind groups. And so I want to share with you today this idea for such a time as this idea. And the first thing that I thought of when we went into this crazy pandemic experience was that for such a time as this. Now, let me just share where I got this that saying from, and if those of you might know where that's from, that saying's from. Many years ago, I'm not even going to go to the date, and I know it was here in New Jersey. I was at a church, and I was actually training to be a pastor. And I was going through this training up in Trenton. And my first day, the first lecture, first lesson, and it was actually my first wake-up call. We all went into the big, in the church, and the dean of this, was it? I guess the minister's education. I'm not going to say names or anything like that, but he was the dean. He came up there and he looked at us, and it was a little scary. He looked at all of us. There must have been probably about 80 of us there, and he asked us this question. He says, "Why are you here? Why are you here?" And we all looked at each other. And he says, let me hear some answers. And of course, some of us were a little afraid, but because he was very intimidating. He was speaking like a preacher and speaking with that preacher's voice. And he said, "Why are you here?" And we all looked at each other. Some say, well, I want to preach the gospel. And another person, I want to save souls. And I want to bring Jesus. And so you had all these answers, which were, they were being honest and being true. And then you just saw his face was almost like a grimace on his face. He was like he was eating something bad or something like that. I'll never forget it. And so he told all of us. He says, go to this scripture. He says, go to Esther 4:14, and everyone read that. I need somebody to stand up and read what it says. Someone stood up and read this scripture from the Old Testament, and then he says, okay, great, thank you. And he picks that one line, and there's one line in that scripture that says, perhaps you were born for such a time as this. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole story of Esther and what's going on there. I just want to make sure that you guys get an idea of where I got that thought from, this thought about for such a time as this. And in this scripture, in this pivotal moment in this story, okay, the person says to another person, perhaps you were born for such a time as this. And then he looked at all of us, the dean looked at all of us and says, what does that mean to you? He says, what does that mean to you? And he starts shouting. And we're like, okay. And people looking around, scared to answer. I don't know, I was petrified. I wasn't saying anything. So anyway, he says, this is what it means. It means that God put your butt, and everyone looks at each other because he said the word butt. Put your butt on this earth at this time, in this place, and has a place at the place where you are right now, with the people you are with right now, for a reason. Never forget that. And then he proceeded to talk about, the classes that we were doing. But I never forget him saying that. And he said a couple of other things, but that line, for such a time as this, I was placed here at this time with these people, with this situation, with all this in this very, very given moment, at such a time as this, because and he used the word, you have been ordained. And I'll never forget that. Now, in March, I don't know what you guys were doing in March of this year, where you were. I think in history, we're going to look back in March and tell our great-grandchildren, that I remember back in 2020 when we had the pandemic, I was doing this, and this is where I was. Now, I know where I was. I was at Donato Karate Center teaching martial arts, full-time instructor there. And I remember one of our parents had called me over. As a matter of fact, it was the beginning of March, end of February. Called me over and told me from he was military, and he shared with me what he knew, because he had some intelligence and he was in that field. And he said, this is what's happening, so get toilet paper, get this, get that, make sure you stock up on that, and I just want to let you know that. And I was like, what? And he says that there's going to be a few changes coming up, and it's going to disrupt the world a bit. And I just respect you. I just want to let you know that. He says right now, he says, we're going to go into a time where business as usual is going to cease to exist. And I'll never forget him saying that. And I remember going home, and then it unfolded, the news. Master Donato and I spoke about it, what we were going to do. And I'll never forget that feeling. And it was I wasn't afraid. I wasn't, upset or anything like that. I had this feeling inside of me that made me feel empowered. Because I remembered what that dean, when I was at in ministry school, what he said, for such a time as this. I've lived 59 years for such a time as this, and prepared myself, my mind, my body, and the knowledge and training as a martial arts, as a warrior, to do what I am doing right now. And so I'll never forget that. So what I want to share with you guys is that a couple of thoughts. First of all, here's a couple of thoughts I want to share with you very quickly. And I got to jump off. Got to teach some classes, change out of this and go into classes. But what is life mastery? What does being a warrior mean? And what getting beaten down is, and what being indistractable is. And I know my mission in life, and this came to me in such a powerful way in March, when I had this sense and this feeling of such a time as this, I have been prepared. Okay, and my mission now as a life mastery coach at Donato Karate Center is to train people to take control of their lives, to master their lives, and to be warriors so they can fight a good fight and to rise up stronger when they are beaten down, and strive to be indistractable. Now, life mastery for me is taking your life in your hands, 100% responsibility for your life, no excuses. Your mental growth, physical growth, your spiritual growth, your psychological growth, your emotional growth, 100% of who you are, your life, okay, taking your life and taking full responsibility of mastering your life. That's my goal as a coach, a life mastery coach. And being a warrior is fighting a vicious fight for the good of others and for what is right. And then getting beaten down is, for me, another opportunity to show the power of one who rises up above all the ashes, all this garbage, and soar, as one would say, like an eagle with wings, with this indistractable focus and vision and laser beam tenacious mindset, striving to do what you say you're going to do, regardless, no matter what's in your way. And this is something that keeps pounding into me every time I get up every morning. And of course, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and I prepare my mind and my body, my spirit, my all in all for my day. And I work hard being that warrior, fighting a good fight, mastering my life as best as possible. And when I feel like I'm getting beaten down, that's an opportunity. I feel that opportunity to rise up and be that eagle spreading their wings to soar, being empowered, because beaten down and getting up means that I'm stronger and I withstood the punishment of that beat. And then being indistractable, staying focused, staying on track to where I want to go, my purpose in my life, my mission in my life. And that's what I do as a life mastery coach. That's what I do. And I wanted to share that today, probably for my benefit, just to get it out. And it's a very exciting times for me. I had a great family together with my family today. We're talking about, that was my version of masterminding with my family. And I'll be talking a lot about that over the next couple of weeks. Well, that's what I wanted to share today, guys, and I hope that made sense. Felt like hopefully I wasn't too much of a preacher. This guy was a preacher teacher. Hopefully I'm more of a teacher preacher. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. And one more thing. Hey guys, Donato Christ Center and I will be launching a powerful new system next week that is designed to eliminate distractions from you, from your children, from everyone, distractions. And I want to talk more about that over the next couple of days, but we're putting that together. So if you want to get on that list to learn more about that, message me, or comment right below. Just let me know, you want to get on that list of the of what I call the Indistractable Challenge. It's going to be 6 weeks. I put it all together, work together with my mastermind group. We've come together, and I'm excited about that. Okay, and that's it. Oh, by the way, guys, hey, yesterday I put up a link for this. Did you get? Just asking you guys, did you get this ebook that I put out? Make Your Child Indistractable. Did you guys get that? If not, if you didn't get it yet, please go ahead and comment below. Let me know. And I'll send that to you. And I'm not too sure. I gave away 25 yesterday. I think I asked my team to go give a couple more away. But if you didn't get it yet, let me know, and I'll message you the link and the coupon code so you can get it for free. Okay, so let me know. Other than that, guys, have a great day. And I'll talk to you guys next time. This weekend, I'm putting together everything. I'm going to be working hard this weekend. Get ready for our Indistractable workshop. And it's 6 weeks. Very exciting. Good stuff. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Take care.